Well, good Saturday afternoon to everybody who is checking out this video. If you're checking it out a little later, welcome whenever you're checking it out. I am Tenacious Earl, and I am the host of this channel, which is Tenacious Sports. And one of the main projects, so the channel, if you're just new here, is about it showcases games that simulate sports events using cards and dice. And sometimes we incorporate some computer stuff in it, but mostly we're trying to do a more analog game setup than what you have if you're going to play a computer game. So there's a lot of times that I use computer tools to help enhance the game, but for the most part, I'm doing things manual on the desktop. And the reason that we do that is just, for one thing, there's a lot of reasons, but this is pretty much the official launch of the next season of a long-standing project, which is called the Tenacious Golf Tour. Again, if you're new to this, we just finished up season 3 roughly 3 weeks ago, and this is a tour that uses a game called History Maker Golf. It is offered by a company called Play.com. Their website is Play Classic, and Play contains 2 A's as far as the play goes. This game is somewhat a quick play game. Let's just say if you go and buy one of the other types of golf games to play on your tabletop, if you wanted to play a full tournament, it would take you a long time. Excuse me. So in this regard, this game makes it a short play game, because you can get a full tournament done, which is 4 days worth of golf, simulating 3 of the days through quick play methods, and then finishing the final day. So you can get that done in about 3 hours, maybe 4 hours in total. So there are lots of gamers out in the world who are playing this game, mostly not on YouTube, but that's neither here nor there, but they like to play real golfers. So all the sets are available. You've got, I think, 2022 sets now available from Play, 2021, 2020, and back. And then they've got some all-time great types sets, and there are also some custom-made sets that are available that you could use. But what we use for this tour is called the Pro National Golf Set, and that is a completely fictional set. Every golfer is a fictional name. Most of these guys that you will see that we're going to talk about here in just a minute, have been on this tour all 3 years up to this point and continue on. So I'll talk a little bit about the schedule, any changes. Obviously there are majors that usually are rotating as far as their venue goes, but there's a couple of other tournaments that have changed. We'll also go into some of the thought process behind why the Tenacious Golf Tour is set up the way it is this year. And I don't know, maybe if anybody pops in here to listen and they have a question or two, maybe we'll answer those. So without, what did I just do? Oh. Hopefully everything is okay. Without any further ado, let's head over to my screen here, and I'll shrink this window just a little bit. So this is the schedule for the next Tenacious Golf Tour, Season 4. It's going to have so this is an expanded schedule. This is probably the most ambitious Tenacious Tour schedule I've had. Though I would say this is a nice medium if I mothball the Slacker Tour, which is, I'd say, about 95% sure that that's going to happen. This is going to be a 36 tournament tour. So I've expanded the TGT, which was 30 tournaments last year. Now it'll be 36, but I've taken away the Slacker Tour, which was 12. So I've, in theory, cut my play time down by 6 of those tournaments. In the course of this project, which takes a while, that's not a ton, but in some ways it is. But I still haven't completely written off bringing that back after a few months if I've just decided that I really want to have some extra golfers. So, I want to check one thing before we keep going. Let's put this on. Hopefully everybody's been able to hear me thus far, and hopefully it doesn't change it too much in one way or the other, one direction or the other. Well, if it changes it for the better, that's good. But, alright, so we're going to open up the season. Honestly, let's do this. Let's wind it back to season 3. And let's do a little comparison shopping here, okay? So, previous year we started off with the Tournament of Champions. I decided this year we were going to start in Cali for one tournament. I thought I didn't want this tournament, well, now I'm calling it the Tournament of Glory. I didn't want this narrow invitational to be the first tournament. I wanted to kind of have a couple tournaments that would sort of set the stage for what was going to carry on as the season progressed. And that feels a little more like the PGA Tour. So the Celebrity Classic will be first. That's at PGA West, which is in Southern California. That is a D tier. So I have moved to 4 tiers. I'll talk about that at some point. But suffice to say, A is more or less the best of the best. That's going to be top golfers that aren't injured. They're not going to really take a week off from an A tier tournament. It's so prestigious. So that's majors, it's Sawgrass, it's invitationals mostly. There's a couple of other invitationals which are B. There will be a little bit of rest in B, but not too much. And again, maybe I can go through that. C, there's going to be more rest. It's still going to be, but it's going to be cool. Actually, there's going to be quite a bit of rest in C. D is going to be the most low end of the tournaments. There'll still be, I think, one top 10 player in those tournaments, but that's it. It's really meant to give the lesser golfers a chance. So Celebrity Classic, then they go over to Hawaii like they're doing right now, and these tournaments are flipped. So the Oahu Shootout at Wailea is going to be first, and then the Aloha Tournament of Glory at Kapalua will be the third tournament. But the order of those two tournaments have been flipped compared to real life. So, excuse me, it would have been nice if this could have been a day to sleep in, but not really. So that's why I'm yawning. Then from there they go to Arizona for the Rattler. Rance Aberley got his first tournament victory there last year, and only. From Arizona they go up north to Pebble Beach, Monterey Peninsula for the NorCal Pro-Am. Evan Aldrich, the defending champion there, and then all the way back down to LA to the Tinseltown Open. That's interesting. I think I left out. That's interesting. So I took out Torrey Pines the previous year, right? The U.S. Open was at Torrey Pines. I don't have a tournament in there for Torrey Pines, which is a bit remarkable. I probably should put it back in there, but then again, maybe not. I may just leave it out and bring it back the following year. I feel like with the 36 tournaments, I could. So I wanted to have some new tournaments. So that's kind of the reason that let's see, what was the name of? Yeah, I mean, I just mothballed the San Diego tournament, but I think I'm going to keep it this way. So I feel like, the 6 tournament West Coast swing works. Then we go to Florida to Copperhead. It's Innisbrook, Copperhead, and Sea Island, and then you hit Sawgrass up in the Jacksonville area. Then you head down to Bay Hill and Orlando, PGA National. See, what I could do is maybe what I should do is, well, so I wanted to have a couple tournaments before Augusta that were, see, I feel like I just need to, so anyway, one of the things I've done with this particular season, if you notice here, you see G. Eames. So after Florida, you go to Astroland, which is Memorial Park. This is a user-created course. Gideon Eames, who occasionally comes to this channel to watch some stuff. Friend of the channel, for sure. And a friend of the History Maker golf community. He designed that course. And so what I was hoping to do was wanted to take a few tournaments that had sort of some historic flavor, right? Like this one from Memorial Park. That used to be where the Houston Open was held back in the 80s. And they go to San Antonio. Then they have the Masterful. Then there's Harbortown. In TPC Potomac, which is Avenel Farms. And then the Colonial Invitational, I call it Ben Hogan Invitational. A couple more. Then we have the American Open. That's going to be at Pinehurst number 2. That is a course that has been carded in the most recent course pack that's been sold. Course Collection 18. So that's Carolina Pines. Pinehurst number 2. I neglected to mention right before that we have the Toronto Open at Hamilton Golf, which is, again, another user created. Larry, he is a good friend of the channel, and he created 2 of these courses that are going to be more historic. And so they are, that is not a new tournament. The Toronto Open was held at Glen Abbey the previous year, but I wanted to move it to that tour spot, so that's where it is. And then again, Pinehurst. And then we have a couple of like a northeast swing. We have Keene Trace, which is in Kentucky. Then we have another one, Oakwood, Quad Cities Open. That, they do have Deer Run available, which is also in the Quad Cities, but I wanted to use Oakwood. And then Kingsmill, that's a venue that was a classic venue from the 80s. The Kingsmill on the James in Williamsburg. So we're putting in the Williamsburg Classic there. And that was Larry. And Gideon designed Oakwood. So then we have a couple more B tiers to lead off the Championship of the UK, which is going to be at St. Andrews. But the second of those Bs is going to be the International. This is going to be a special event because it's at Castle Pines, which is, again, that's the classic tournament from the 80s where you use the modified Stableford scoring system. And I'm going to try to do that the best I can. I don't know. I have to find out a good way to model the scores in that, but we'll get it figured out. Then after St. Andrews and the Championship of the UK, we have... So Kemper Lakes, that's another one that's a little older, but that is in a course collection 17. So Kemper Lakes will have the Western Open. Twin Cities, Detroit. We've held tournaments at those 2 places. We're going to do Sedgefield for the Greater Greensboro Open. Thought about putting that at the course that was the host of Greater Greensboro. I forget the name of it. It was it's like on the tip of my tongue, but now I swear it kind of sounds like a car. But anyway, I may change my mind and move it to that, but let's for now call it that. And then we have the Blues Belt and the Georgia Open like we had last year, leading up to the showcase, the Tenacious Pro Showcase. That's going to be at TPC Harding Park, which was where Morikawa won? It might have been a PGA Championship. So 36 tournaments. It's going to be a long season. Hopefully I can get this wrapped up within a year and a half. That'd be great. So now, the tiers. Let's just see if I can find... Oops. Alright. So, the tiers. For A's, it's going to be pretty much like your top 150 something or other, for the most part. Top golfers go to those. For B and C and D, this is what's going to happen. So for B tier, you're going to get 7 of the top 10 in a B tier. So there's going to be 3 people, 3 of the top 10. And this is out of the, what do you want to call it? I'm taking this from the priority rankings, not from the money rankings. So this is, I'll show you the priority rankings here in a minute. So, and that 1 to 10 is based on certain tournaments being won. So, we'll see how that works out. So B tier, 7 of the top 10. C tier, 5. So half of the top 10 will be in a C tier. D tier, only 10%. Only 1 of the 10. And then for a D tier, it's only going to be 3 of the top 25 and 7 of the top 50. So it's really trying to thin out the better golfers and give a lot of the back markers a chance. So, and that's the priority rank criteria. I've based that off of a lot of the PGA type stuff. And so we could take a look at our tournament priority here. And so Trent McAdams is number 1 because he, what was that? I think, let's see, the points first, right? Oh, I closed that out, didn't I? The point leader. He also won a couple of other tournaments too that were included. I think the American Open was one of them that would have put him, that would have qualified him whether he won the point title or not. Joshua New, he won the Tenacious Pro Showcase, so that's why he is 2. Look at his tournament rating, 4A, not so great. Enrique Magallanes was the Masters, or the Masterful. And then the American Open would be next, but again, that's McAdams. Sawgrass is 5. That's going to be Garrett Leonard. Rowetter. What did he win? He must have won the championship of the UK. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Oh, boy, I'm still getting... And we can just keep going up. You know, Dustin Emmerich did win a tournament, but he's way down. So, we took the top 125, both points and money. So if someone was outside the top 125 in points, but was in the top 125 in money, we stuck with that. We kept them in this top 125. Then we had, from there, Slacker Tour. So the winner, excuse me, Flynn Glenn was winner of the Slacker Tour. Then we had the Slacker season points, the top 120 or the top 25 from that, and then the top 25 others from the Slacker playoff. So you don't know much about that because I didn't play it out here. But the other thing I've really tried to do with this set and with this these tournaments coming up, is I've tried to make it a point that I want the PNG to be mostly involved. I don't want as many custom cards. There are going to be custom cards, but I prefer to even, there's my word, tired. So there have been some retirements, and that means that there are some new players as well. So there are probably 30 or 40 players didn't make it in this set. There's 30 or 40 new players, and so I want to have them get priority. I'll tell you what, I'm tired. Only other thing I'll say is my hope is that I'm trying to build this in Excel because it'll cause things, I think, to work a little better as far as lag and things like that. So it's taking some time, but pretty soon. I guess I need a nap, but anyway, that's what we've got going on here. Look for the first tournament here in the coming days. Want to kind of get this thing kicked off, get the Celebrity Classic out of the way. So if you're looking forward to it, hit like. If you want to offer suggestions, you're welcome to. I'm not sure I'll adopt any of them, but it's always good to know that people are watching. So anyway, thanks for checking this out. Hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you back here soon on Tenacious Sports.